What's up, guys? It's your girl, Nag85, Psycho Sister, Auntie M, Angie Bob, Angie Cakes, whatever you know me, you know me. Just coming at you with another video. Today is December 31st, 2020. We made it to the end of the year. Thank goodness. So there's so much stuff that I wanted to talk about in this video that I made a list. Ooh, can't see it. But I might be on limited time because my angel... Aw, take a minute to say, aw, she's so cute, is sleeping. And when she wakes up, she's going to want full mom attention because that's what she does. So, what a year. And what the front door. What just happened? Right? Like, 2020 started off okay, right? 2020, perfect vision, gonna be my year. And then all of a sudden, I'm in my doctor's office having a panic attack because I don't know if the world's being shut down. Like, what? Yeah, so then the world goes crazy. Wendy's gets burnt down for no reason in Atlanta. I'm gonna say a lot because I'm just in... COVID comes over from Wuhan or whatever. Trump does what Trump does. The world loses their shit. Black Lives Matters loses their complete and utter motivation. I mean, the whole protests and looting and rioting, I don't even know what happened. But somehow... it didn't contribute to the COVID numbers. And then the CDC, who we trust and love and know, starts this whole pandemic saying, don't wear a mask. It doesn't help. And I said, how does it not help if it's a droplet disease? Like, Sabrina had rhinovirus over a year before coronavirus was even whatever. And I was forced to mask up and gown down because it's a droplet disease and it helps prevent the spread of. So then it went from, don't wear a mask, don't worry, it's not going to help, to now you have to wear a mask. That seems odd. The numbers skyrocket, right? But so do the number of people we're testing. The percentage of infected is not displayed on my TV. But the numbers of infected are. So, okay, let me break this down really simple for myself in the future and whoever gives a shit, because whatever. If you test 100 people and 5 people have the virus, that is 5%. And only 5 are infected. And no big deal. Now, you test 100,000 and 5,000 people are going to be infected, but it's still 5%. It's the same percentage as when you tested a smaller group. So if you start administering millions of tests, right? And you start requiring everybody who sniffles to go get a test, and everybody who chews to go get a test, and everybody who has the normal flu to go get a test, and Tom, Dick, and Harry at the prison and the homeless shelter and the retirement homes, and everybody has to get tested. So you do 10 million tests, you're going to have a very high number. But your percentage is still 5%. Okay, so then we move past that, and coronavirus is moving along, and all of a sudden, the CDC, who we still love and trust and is not covering up anything conspiring, says, stop. Quarantine only has to be 10 days. Doesn't have to be 14 anymore. Even though it's a highly contagious disease, and it is contagious for 14-day incubation period, don't worry about the other 4 days. It's cool. Okay. A week or two after that, a new variant comes out of the same disease, which, mind you, COVID-19 has been on the back of Lysol containers for who knows, because nobody read it. Nobody knows. So what I'm getting at is I just kind of feel like the whole COVID thing, as scary as it is, and as much as I do not want to get it, and I do not want to be the reason that somebody else gets it, and I wear my mask and I sanitize my hands and I avoid gathering. I miss humans. I miss humans. I avoid gathering, and we can't go out to eat, and I can't go party, and I can't even have a legit birthday party for my daughter. And I follow the rules because what if? What if I'm that person, right? And I don't have symptoms, or I have a stuffy nose, which is every day of my life. And my stuffy nose, or my what I thought was a smoker's cough, is actually the disease. And what if I infect my mother, or I infect your grandmother, or I infect the next person's grandfather, or, I mean, coronavirus. Great. It's going to be like lice. You think about it and you got to hit your head. You think about it, you got to cough. What if I'm that person? I don't want to be that person. So I follow the what ifs. I follow it makes sense to wear a mask because this thing is a little bit sketchy. But I don't believe the numbers. And I don't believe the government. And I don't believe any of the things going on. But they're going on. So that's all I really want to say about coronavirus, or about the virus itself, because even though it's a tragedy, and I am terribly sorry for not only the people that have lost people because of this, but the parents that lost time with their kids because they work in a hospital and they're working with people who have the coronavirus, and now they have to quarantine, so they can't be with their kids. I'm sorry for the people that got it and didn't even die, but just people that had to suffer through it. And I pray that that's not me one day. And I am sorry that you got it. I'm sorry to all the businesses that are losing their business, and all the people that lost their jobs, and the homes, and the devastation that it's caused a lot of people. And part of that makes me feel really bad for the next part of my video, but I'm thankful for everything that happened. I am grateful for the shutdown. I am grateful for the fact that on April 24th, I watched my daughter take her first steps at about 1:50 in the afternoon because I got sent home early because we had no work to do. Had it been a normal day, I wouldn't have been home for another 5 or 6 hours. Mind you, I'd been gone for 5 or 6 hours. And I would have heard stories, probably relayed from the daycare to my mom to me. That's not even like a third party. That's like a fourth party. And that's how I was raising my daughter. I tried to set limits with my old job, and I was made to feel guilty. I mean, I seriously was asked, what time did you go home last night? And when I said 4:30, it was questioned why I left if the work wasn't done. And my response was, is my 10 hours not enough for you? Was my 10-hour workday not sufficient? I told you that I can't be here until 7:15 because my daughter has daycare, and because of all her medical situation, I don't just trust any daycare with my daughter, and you can't work with me on that? You need me here at 6:30? After I gave you 12 years of my life. After I literally worked myself to death for you. Not just one person, but for the company. I mean, I was hopeful when I started at the job, and I was young, and I thought I would be a manager one day, and maybe regional, and I was going to go big places and do big things. And I loved the industry, and I loved the building, and I knew how to handle almost every situation that came through. And you can't let me start 45 minutes. Don't get it twisted. These tears aren't sadness. I don't miss that place at all. These tears are me mourning the 12 years of my life that I gave. The 12 years that I worked 70-hour weeks or 80-hour weeks. I had a check with 160 hours on it. I worked for almost 470 days straight, Sunday through Sunday, no day off. I held it together when nobody else could. And I got backhanded. And I got passed up for positions that should have been mine because I was qualified. And I trained my managers over and over. And you can't give me 45 fucking minutes? No. I watched my daughter take those steps, and I realized I'm not a bad parent for working 70 hours a week. I'm not a bad parent for missing her holding her bottle the first time. I didn't know for a week that she was holding her own bottle. I'm not a bad parent because the money was good and it was helpful. I'm not a bad parent because I was trying to build a career and a future, and I am not a bad parent that I got taken advantage of. But I wasn't the parent I wanted to be. I wasn't home with her. I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to spend 10 minutes with her, to go to work and not get home until bedtime. And when I said enough is enough, and I said I'm not working any more than 8, it was a joke. I was told, oh yeah, we've heard that before. Oh, Angie, just work 8 hours a day. And the work just piled up, and the ill management made it so the work was almost doubled what we needed to do. And I felt like I had nobody in my corner. And I'm not talking about friends, because I have friends and I have acquaintances and I have people, but from the professional side, I had nobody in my corner. They just expected the job done and didn't give two shits that they were literally breaking me, that they were literally making me sacrifice the one thing that matters to me the most, and that's that little girl over there. And so on the day that I was told that there was no room to let me come in at 7:15, I needed to be there at 6:30 because they needed me. I posted a Snapchat that would change my life. And I posted a picture that said, do I really need this fucking job? And I got a message from a friend. And I know I mentioned this before, and I don't say names, but I got that message. And you know what? I wasn't even 100% sure. When I gave my 2-week notice, I was scared. I didn't want to be the fat girl at a new job. I didn't want to have to face judgment of people that hadn't seen me at my worst. I didn't want to face judgment of people that I didn't know. I was scared, and then I didn't even know for sure that I had the job. Like, I was just kind of banking on it. I didn't know how I was going to go. I didn't know how I was going to make my bills. I didn't know how I was going to buy diapers. Like, what happens when I can't pay my car payment, or I can't afford diapers, or what happens? You know, I was scared, and yet I gave my 3-week notice, and I started distancing myself. I started taking more breaks in my car and watching what was going on. I stopped talking during meetings and listening. And it was a train wreck. And at first I thought I was in shock. Like, maybe it hadn't registered. I was really leaving Durham. Like, I was really leaving. Like, at first I thought maybe at one point it would just hit and I would just break down. I would lose it and I would change my mind. Nope. I can't believe I left. It was 12 years. It was a long time. I sacrificed a lot. I mean, I sacrificed relationships, friendships, me time, daughter time, like everything for that job. And I never thought that I would actually leave. And my last day came, and it meant the world to me. And there's people there that I have tremendous bonds with. And it's all I've known since I was 23. And so I cried. I cried with every nice gesture, the cake, the cards, the flowers, the hugs, the I miss yous, the teary eyes, the do you really have to go? And then when I got home, I picked up Sabrina, I hugged her, and I broke down. I started bawling because had it not been for that little girl, had it not been for the one time I broke down crying in front of her because work was too much and she looked at me and said, Mama Kay, or the mornings that she'd say, no work, Mama, play, please play, Mama, please. Had it not been for those, I wouldn't have had the strength to leave.